I just want to wrap up by saying a few things that I saw in his last weeks in hospital. He was very, very sick, lying in bed. He got the stroke, and then he got the pneumonia, and he wasn't in a very good shape at all. Yet every single time the doctors or the nurses moved him or he moved around, he always put his hand up, even when he was in a semi-conscious state, to make sure that his yarmulke was there. He made sure he'd daven. He was with no strength. In the last of his strength, he had a siddur open, and it was hard for him to breathe, yet he was davening with a loud voice. He wanted to daven loudly. That was Zaide. In the worst of times, he still fought very hard. His smile, one of the things about Zaide which was so beautiful, was even without Zaide having to speak. For the last few years, he didn't really speak much. I mean, he'd speak occasionally. We were zocher to hear him by Fabrengens, and those who could hear him were even more zocher. But his smile itself was able to light up everyone. As a matter of fact, even the doctors and nurses in the hospital said it's all worth having him there just to see his smile, and it was really something very special watching him smile. So I'll just conclude with a little thing from Chassidus Kabbalah, that when a person passes away, they take up with them all the mitzvahs and ma'asim tovim they did their whole lives. They take up together with them. But on the same note, they also, when a tzaddik passes away, it says that the death of a tzaddik, which Zaide was truly a tzaddik, was someone who learned to daven his whole life and actually practiced what he preached. I remember in yeshiva, someone was comparing his grandfather to my grandfather, and I was still very innocent in this regard at 16 years old, and we were arguing who's greater. So we went to our mashpia, and the mashpia in Kfar Chabad, we said, this is, my Zaide, Mendel Feldman, and his Zaide, Yankel Levin, or whoever it was. He says, who was greater? So he said, your grandfather. He says, your grandfather, he davens, maybe he's not this, maybe he's not that, maybe he's a faker, maybe he's this. So he said, your grandfather, Lepel Mamish, if someone wants to say faker or whatever it is, the tachlis is, the way you can see if it's true or not, is looking at the person to see what he does a whole day. And when you look at your grandfather, what's he faking? His whole life is Torah and mitzvahs and davening. That's what he does. You see what he does and you can see who the person is. And I remember listening to that and hearing that and learning a lot from that, to see that what you saw was what you got. His whole day, from morning till night, just learning and davening, and that's really who he was. But the second thing that we learned, that when a tzaddik passes away, is that he causes a kapara for all of us as well. His passing is a kapara for all of us, for all of our averos, for anything else that's wrong in the world. So his passing away is to rectify and atone for all of us. So we only daven at a time like this by Shiva. The time that he's going up there to Kisei HaKavod, to the Eibishter himself, and he's truly is, for such a loss in this world. When he passed away, it was interesting that in Sydney it was pouring rain like I don't remember the last time on Friday night. I walked from the lodge right after Kiddush. I quickly made Kiddush and davened in the lodge, walked across to be with him all night, and the rain was drenched just after a few meters. Erev Shabbos, so I spoke to America. It was raining there. It was raining all over the world. There was no doubt that the heavens were indeed crying Friday night when Hashem decided to take his holy neshama back to him. But this that his neshama has gone back up, it is definitely, we daven that this should be a kapara for all of us, for all the people that he touched, for all the people that were connected to him throughout his life, and to be a true Meilitz Yosher, and to once and for all scream by Hashem that enough is enough, and to give us all what we need, Begashmis and Beruchnis, and most importantly, for Hashem to send us Mashiach.
Amen. Amen. Amen.